There is a person in your life, or there was, who made you feel like you were never quite enough. Not through cruelty, not through obvious abuse, through something much more subtle. A comment here, a withdrawal there, a way of making you work constantly for approval that never quite arrived. You told yourself you were too sensitive, that you were imagining things, that if you just tried harder, communicated better, were more understanding, the relationship would finally feel the way you needed it to feel. It never did, and it never was going to. What you were dealing with was narcissism, and understanding how it works is the first step to protecting yourself from it, now and for the rest of your life. This is not about labeling people or diagnosing anyone. This is about understanding a specific pattern of behavior that causes real psychological damage, and learning what the Stoics knew about protecting your mind from exactly this kind of person. The first thing you need to understand about narcissism is that it is not confidence. Genuine confidence is quiet. It doesn't need your admiration to survive. It doesn't collapse when challenged. It doesn't require your constant validation to remain intact. Narcissism is the opposite. Beneath the surface of grandiosity and certainty is a profound fragility. The narcissist's sense of self is not built on genuine self-worth. It's built on the reflection they see in other people's eyes, which means they need that reflection constantly, and they will do whatever it takes to get it. That need is what drives every behavior pattern you'll learn to recognize today. The first pattern, love bombing. In the beginning, the narcissist makes you feel extraordinary. They pay intense attention to you. They seem to understand you perfectly. They mirror your values, your interests, your dreams back at you with uncanny precision. They make you feel seen in a way you've rarely felt before. This is not connection. This is data collection. They are learning what you need, what moves you, what makes you feel valued and understood. And they are using that information to create an emotional dependency, to make you feel that this relationship, this person, is unlike anything you've ever experienced. Because once that dependency exists, they have leverage, and they will use it. The second pattern, idealize, devalue, discard. Once the initial phase of intensity has created the attachment they were looking for, the dynamic shifts. The idealization begins to fade. Suddenly, you're not quite as perfect as they suggested. Your opinions are questioned. Your feelings are minimized. The attention that was once constant becomes inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, with no clear pattern you can identify. This inconsistency is not accidental. Variable reinforcement, reward that comes unpredictably, creates stronger psychological attachment than consistent reward. Your nervous system becomes addicted to the moments of warmth precisely because they're unpredictable. You spend enormous energy trying to understand what you did wrong, trying to get back to how things were, trying to be good enough to restore the connection. You didn't do anything wrong. The shift was always coming. It was part of the pattern from the beginning. The third pattern, gaslighting. This is perhaps the most psychologically damaging tool in the narcissist's arsenal because it doesn't just affect your behavior, it attacks your reality. Gaslighting is the systematic denial of your experience. That never happened. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. You're being paranoid. I never said that. Over time, repeated exposure to gaslighting erodes your confidence in your own perception. You stop trusting what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. You begin to defer to their version of reality because yours has been undermined so consistently that it no longer feels reliable. This is the goal. A person who doesn't trust their own perception is easier to control. The fourth pattern, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. When you try to address something the narcissist did that hurt you, here's what happens. They deny it happened. Then they attack you for bringing it up. Then somehow, through a rapid and disorienting reversal, They become the victim of your accusation while you become the abuser for raising it. You came to the conversation with a legitimate concern. You leave it apologizing, comforting the person who hurt you, wondering how you ended up in the wrong. This is not confusion. This is a technique, and knowing it exists is the beginning of being able to resist it. The fifth pattern, triangulation. The narcissist introduces a third party to destabilize you. An ex, a friend, a colleague, someone who is used as a comparison, explicit or implicit, to keep you competing for approval that is deliberately withheld. My ex never had a problem with this. Everyone else thinks I am right. You should see how other people treat their partners. The goal is to keep you in a state of mild but constant insecurity. Insecure people work harder for approval, and approval is the currency the narcissist trades in. Now, what the Stoics knew about all of this. Marcus Aurelius spent his entire reign surrounded by people who fit many of these patterns. Senators who flattered him to his face and undermined him behind his back. Advisors whose loyalty was conditional on their own advantage. Family members who betrayed his trust. And he developed a philosophy for dealing with them that is more practically useful than almost anything modern psychology has produced on the subject. The first Stoic principle, you cannot change them. Stop trying. Marcus wrote, accept the things to which fate binds you. He didn't mean passive resignation. He meant the recognition of what is and is not within your power. A narcissist's patterns are deeply ingrained. They are not a response to your behavior. They are not something you can love away, communicate away, or understand away. The energy you spend trying to fix the relationship, trying to be understood, trying to get them to see your perspective, that energy is gone. It doesn't produce what you're hoping for. It produces exhaustion. What is within your power is your response, your boundaries, your decision about where you place your energy and attention. The second Stoic principle, build your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius wrote about something he called the inner citadel, a place inside yourself that no external person or event can reach. Not a place of coldness or disconnection, a place of stability, a core of values and self-knowledge that remains intact regardless of what happens around you. This inner citadel is what gaslighting attacks. It is what love bombing bypasses. It is what the narcissist's entire toolkit is designed to erode. Building it requires daily practice. Knowing clearly what you value, knowing what you experienced, trusting your own perception even when someone is working hard to undermine it. Writing down what happened, what was said, what you felt, so that your reality has a record that cannot be revised by someone else's narrative. The third Stoic principle, choose your exposure deliberately. Epictetus wrote, tell me who you spend time with and I will tell you who you are becoming. This is not a metaphor. Social contagion is real. The emotional states and behavioral patterns of the people around you transfer to you over time. You cannot be in sustained proximity to someone who consistently undermines your reality without that proximity costing you something real. Where you cannot remove yourself immediately from a family member, a coworker, a situation you're still navigating, minimize the surface area. Give them less access to your emotional interior. Be present in the interaction without being open in the relationship. Respond without revealing. And where you can choose people who make you more certain of yourself, not less. People whose presence adds to your sense of reality rather than eroding it. The fourth Stoic principle, your need for their approval is the actual trap. Marcus Aurelius wrote, I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. The narcissist's control is real, but it is not made of their power. It is made of your need to be understood by them. Your need for the warmth they showed you in the beginning. Your need to make sense of why the person who seemed to understand you so completely now seems to misunderstand you at every turn. Remove that need, not through bitterness, not through shutdown, but through the genuine construction of a self that doesn't require their reflection to feel real, and their control dissolves, not because they changed, because the mechanism they were using no longer has anything to grip. This is the hardest work, and it is the only work that actually frees you. You were not naive for being affected by this. Narcissistic patterns are sophisticated. They exploit the very qualities that make you capable of genuine connection. Your empathy, your desire to be fair, your willingness to question yourself. Those qualities are not weaknesses. They are strengths that were used against you. The Stoic path forward is not to become harder, it is to become clearer. Clear about what you experience, clear about what you will and won't accept, clear about where your energy belongs. Your peace is not negotiable, and now you know exactly what you're protecting it from. If this gave you something useful, subscribe. The books that inspired this video are linked below. See you in the next one.